Well, greetings, everybody. Bill O'Leary here, coming to you today to answer the question, why parents put assets in their children's name. So in this video, you're going to learn the reasons why parents put their kids' names on their property, or let's say their financial accounts, the problems that are created doing this, and better ways to go about it. So before jumping in, let me just quickly introduce myself. I'm an experienced elder law and estate planning attorney here in Jacksonville, Florida. My law firm is Legacy Planning Law Group. We focus on just those few key areas: elder law, estate planning for seniors, in effect. We focus on estate planning, things like wills and trusts and estates, and a lot of probate and trust administration. So that's all we do. Now, let's jump into the topic at hand. So here's the scene. Imagine this. I'm meeting with a new client and they tell me, oh, well, they put their kids' names on their bank account, or maybe the deed to the house. After shaking my head, I ask, well, why'd you do it? Usually it comes down to one of two reasons. One, well, so the kids can help me pay the bills, manage the finances, or two, to avoid probate when they die. But the question is this do-it-yourself estate planning technique a good idea? The short answer is simple. No. It's generally a very bad idea to put your, say, son or daughter on your property, your financial accounts, or frankly, any other asset that you own. And let me give you three key reasons why it's a bad idea. Number one, asset protection risk to you. When you put your child's name, you see, on your property or your account, you're legally giving them partial ownership of your property. And then imagine your child gets divorced, or let's say they get sued because they're in a car accident, or they get into some other financial difficulty. Your child's creditors can take your property. And unfortunately, this happens a lot. And it's tragic to see a child's, let's say, ex-spouse or creditor take their parents' property, particularly since it's so easily avoided. Problem number two, taxes. If you add your child's name to your property or account, they're going to miss out on a huge tax break called a step-up basis at death. So to better understand what this means, let me first explain to you briefly, what is a capital gains tax? Say you bought a piece of property for $100,000, okay? And then after owning it for a period of time, you sell it, let's say, for $500,000. Well, that $500,000 minus the $100,000 that you paid for it, that $400,000 is capital gain, which is going to be taxed. Now, let's say instead of selling your property while you're living, you hold it. You just hold on to it. And then at your death, you give it to your child when you die. And then they turn around and sell it for $500,000. Well, guess what? They don't have to pay any capital gains tax because they receive a step-up tax basis. The entire $400,000 of taxable gain goes away. So now let's say you go ahead and put your child's name on that property while you're living. Then the property goes to that same child when you die. And then that child decides to sell the property. They're going to have to pay tax on half of the gain, that gain of $200,000. If you had just kept the property in your own name until you died and then gave it to your child through your, let's say, will or trust, they wouldn't have to pay any tax at all. So that's the second problem with adding the child's name. You lose out on a big tax benefit. Third problem, family squabbles. So when there's, let's say, more than one child in the family, adding just one child to the account or to the property can result in that child receiving a disproportionately larger inheritance than the other children. Why? Well, let's just say this. I rarely see parents that have multiple children add all of the kids to the deed to the house or to the account. Usually it's just one child. It's the child maybe that lives closest, maybe that lives locally, the one that really is helping out mom or dad. They're the only ones that are added out of convenience. Then that child can end up with a larger share of the inheritance compared to their siblings, because they're going to get that entire property or that entire account at death. And this can cause friction among your children. So solutions, there's a better way to avoid that unnecessary liability risk, the higher taxes, and the potential family squabbles. Better way than simply adding your child's name to the assets. Number one, get a good power of attorney. This is an alternative, okay, which is basically a legal document where you authorize someone else to help you, pay your bills and manage your finances, okay? And it's important that a power of attorney does not give your child any ownership in your assets. You see the big difference? So therefore, if the child gets divorced or gets sued, they can't come take any of your assets. Second solution is a trust. Consider a trust is an excellent estate planning tool to avoid probate. You don't need to add your child's name to the account to avoid probate. You can use a trust instead. So with a trust, you're in control as the trustee of your own trust while you're alive. And when you die, your assets will go to who you want to in a very fair, equitable manner with the lowest taxes possible, I should say. And I tell you, a trust is a very commonly used estate planning tool to avoid probate, to make sure things go smoothly, easily, and quickly to your loved ones. So if you'd like to know a little bit more about why parents put assets in their children's name and maybe how we can help show you a better way, we'd love to talk to you. I invite you to book a free 15-minute phone call, our discovery phone call, as we call it. It's a chance for you to tell us what's on your mind, and we can tell you if we are able to help you. Really, it's the start of a conversation. So scheduling that call is easy. You can just go to the bottom of this video and click on the scheduling link. Or if you want, just go to our website, legacyplanninglawgroup.com, and just find that blue button that's really visible, book your free call. It'll take you straight to our booking calendar. Just pick a time and day that works for you. So Bill O'Leary signing off for now. And until we talk again, go make it a great day in a better world.